Alright guys, sucks to admit it, but this is gonna have to be the last one. Dark Souls is finally on its deathbed, and I'm out of things to teach y'all as far as invasions go. So I'll try and make this last one special. Oh cool, Twink Gang. So the number one thing Twinks in the forest will do is parry constantly because it pretty much carries no risk thanks to parries having hyper armor for no good reason. So, you know, I'm gonna have to watch out for that a lot. And yep, parry number one, start the counter. So turn and burning against this guys are going to be way more dangerous than usual because they're just going to keep doing run-up parries and eventually they'll get lucky and Hornet Ring or post me to death. So I'm going to have to start playing the edge here. I'm going to have to wait for them to split up or make mistakes. Now, Twink Gankers aren't known to be the most tactically minded individuals since they have so much health they don't really need tactics, and he just immediately starts giving his plan away, parrying the crab even though he knows he can't. Firebomb harassment, no big deal, just means he has fewer firebombs now. Alright, so he's going to start moving in at last and... oh, look at that name. Get it, guys? It's funny. It's funny because sex. Do you see the joke? Do you know why? Did you get it? So anyway, watch this trick. Wham! He's turned it a little circle and he parried all on his own. How cute. And running R1 and run the other way. And we can just keep doing this for as long as we need to. This will help hold them off as well because the fire will make them want to wait it out. And the host is already retreating, which means I have him alone with this guy. But unfortunately, that doesn't really mean much. Because I have to be careful of his constant parrying and random R1 spam, I can't really attack him easily at all. My usual strategy of taking them down quick before they can reach their Estus is not effective on this guy because he does so little damage and the opponents he's fighting does so much. There's the old undeserved straight sword roll catch, and here's a couple entirely deserved roll catches because I went into the bog like an idiot. Alright, we're out of range. I don't need to keep the camera on them. Oh, but now that I'm out of stamina, I do, because they might getting close. I assume that animation is going to be a straight sword R1. I'm wrong. That's fine. I don't really take any damage, and because there's some really scary, dangerous mobs over here, they dare not pursue me into them. There's no really safe opportunity to attack here because of that little bit of lag, and that there's no enemies. Oh, is that the point down? Oh shit, this guy knows what he's doing. I better start taking him more seriously. Alright, time to run away because there's mobs, and here's why I have so much trouble fighting parry spammers on this build. They just do it at random. And he didn't expect to get the parry, which is why he ran away. Delay, 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 parries me anyway. Thank you, Dark Souls. Wait, what? Why don't you have you don't have a Hornet Ring on? What's the point of parry spam if you don't have a Hornet Ring on? You're not doing the cosplay right. You're breaking the lore. Oh cool, there's another red now. Turn and burn. Wait. Wait. Okay, now you're just embarrassing yourself. It's time to stop. Well, just like I said earlier, they waited too long to kill me, and backup has arrived, and this guy's got a great wooden hammer, which is actually a great idea, and if I'd had more time playing the game, I probably would have added it to my build. See, they can't parry this guy, and the great hammer has, well, great hammer poise. It's actually a quite effective weapon at this level, especially when you've infused it the way he has. Alright, shields down. That took about 1 second to do. And now it's a 3-on-2 all of a sudden. And this guy's parry spam is not going to save him when he doesn't have backup keeping him safe every time he messes one up. So let's do this nice and careful. This guy's got a great hammer, and since most invaders aren't really, you know, Discordian, Saint Riot, Pinko levels of good, usually what you want to do is try and stay out of their arc, because they will hit you. And now we see the gankers making classic ganker mistakes, locking onto single targets, leaving other ones out of their line of sight, so it's easy to hit them over and over again. Healing right within punishing range, and unfortunately the hammer guy doesn't really know what he's doing and hits me instead of a target. Alright, maybe it was just a mistake, he only did it once. Alright. You know what, forget this. I'm gonna go help the other guy. Maybe he'll be a little better at this whole teaming up against opponents thing. Come on, y'all are watchdogs. You should know how to gank by now. Come on. Alright, he's gonna turn a burn any second. Here come. And shield didn't work since I was facing just the wrong direction. Now we're in the chase down phase of the game, and that means there's two things to watch out for, turn and burns and random parries. Random parries I really can't do much about except just approach him and then not attack and do delays randomly, you know, like that. Have to stay out of this guy's reach. You always have to assume other invaders don't really know what they're doing. And the chase down continues like this for a while. Run up beside him, delay, 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 roll catch. Run up beside him, delay, 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 roll catch. If he goes for a parry, well, it's highly unlikely to hit since I'm delaying for so much. There's one. Oh yeah, I got the dagger out. Probably looking for backstabs. Also, make sure to watch your friends as you're doing chase downs because they're just as likely to hit you as the host is, if not even more so, because his host is literally not attacking at all. It's like, hit R1 once and we're suddenly unable to continue chasing. It's that simple. Give it a shot. Oh, that could have gone a lot worse. Luckily, though, I'm fighting a ganker, which means he's completely brain dead and doesn't really know how to take advantage of that kind of thing. He was just hitting buttons random. In fact, he probably didn't even need to do the kick. And dead, business as usual. Wave goodbye. And then one last little annoying thing. So this was a pretty unique invasion for me, and honest to God, 2-on-2. Pretty much completely fair both ways. You'll notice the host disengages with me and moves to attack my ally, and that's going to be a very consistent pattern. When a mage fires a spell and you're not sure who it's going for, just assume it's you every time, because he can easily switch the targeting to you. Alright, he's got a parry shield, which means I attack cautiously. Oh, never mind, now I can attack rampantly. But look at those rolls. 2 perfectly timed rolls. This guy's not panic rolling. He knows what he's doing. Better than average. My instinct, unfortunately, when I'm being attacked from a side I don't, totally see, is to roll away, and that works against me sometimes, allows the other guy to get away and attack my opponent, which, as you can see, he's trying to do now. He's running away from me and trying to circle around and hit my friend there. Well, let's get him off of you. He's having none of it. Whacks the guy twice in the face. Partisan's unfortunately not long enough to get that roll catch, but that's alright. Paying attention to both opponents, spells are, luckily for me, very well telegraphed. My partner moves off to attack the mage, which is actually pretty smart because the mage is wearing the Crown of Dusk and the Moonlight Greatsword does magic damage. So even my backup knows what he's doing too. I attempt to do a Karthus turn and burn, because I thought that I was supposed to be paying attention, and I was right, but I fucked up the range, so whoops. I see this guy on my 6 and do the normal invader thing of assuming I've been flanked. I was not. Need to keep that in mind in the future. And he's still trying to attack my friend, so I'm just going to keep on him with the spear, force him off of him. And now we're back to one-on-one, which is what I like. God damn it, I fucking hate getting the backstab when I don't want it. So the fight's going to go on like this for a while. Alice trying to attack my partner, me trying to keep him off of him. So I'm just going to let it play out for a bit. So I want to call out just how well my teammate's doing right now. He's holding his own against the mage with ease, he's rolling attacks that he's not even paying attention to, and he's relying on me to do my job to keep Alice off him, which I'm doing well. Oh, not quite relying on me. That was a good turn and burn there. Alice did not see that coming at all and took a ton of damage for it. So right now, we're winning this fight solidly. We are way ahead of these two. Man, I love it when this happens. When two good invaders collide, it is a sight to behold. Now, I could consider trying to help my friend kill Alice right here, but there's a mage out of sight, and that's really dangerous. So I turn my attention to this guy, run along him and pressure him because I'm expecting him to parry. I'm still expecting the parry, so we're playing it nice and careful, nice and slow. Oh, he hit me with his weapon? Okay. Unfortunately, now that I've been forced to heal, he's taken the opportunity to move to double team my friend, but he's all over it. He's got his eyes on target, not going to get surprised at all. Although the mage probably would have been better off just shooting a soul spear at him from out of range. Oh, come on, man. That wasn't going to work. That ancient trick? Alright, so I'm going to try and flank these two. I want to be on either side of them. They both chase after me thinking this is their opportunity to attack me, but I am not that simple. They do the thing they don't expect and turn and burn rather than escape, and they take a bunch of damage for it. Alice moves to attack my friend, and I keep on him with the spear, making sure he's unable to do that, and we're still way ahead of this game. I've only used one Estus so far, and I don't even know if my friend's used any. Going after my buddy again. Oh, hold on. Let me just get this guy. Pressure him. Oh, missed the roll catch because he's timing his rolls erratically, which is what a good player does. I like this guy. He knows what he's doing. Let's try pressuring him for a while. And finally got him. You did well. You deserve this. GG, yellow. Alright, I'm going to be honest. I like the yellow better. Or whatever. Good game, I guess. And you, whoever you are with the Moonlight Greatsword, you did fantastic. Well done. When I turn a blind corner and find an enemy, my first instinct is always to attack. See, usually this will catch them off guard, and since I use the Murakumo, it will almost always interrupt whatever they're using to attack me. Oh, how cute. They're in matching dresses. Since neither of them have any toys, I'm basically free to attack them as much as I want with the Murakumo, as long as I can make sure to dodge their retaliation attacks. So we're going to be doing this a lot. Ooh, ugly mistake there. I could have finished you. Going for the L1 taunts, huh? Well, that's wrong for two reasons. One, I'm better at taunting. I'll just stand right out of your range and not do anything. Two, you've already invoked Murphy's Law. it just means you're going to lose. That's how this works. When you talk shit, you get hit. I interrupt their pathetic poise with a running R1 and nearly finished Katy Parry, except I was expecting a regular R1 from the Phantom and was rolling away in anticipation of that. It was a safe move, and I would have done it again, although if I had kept attacking, I would have killed him. Or if I'd used the throwing knife, one or the other. Running R1 into R1, that's an easy out space, and dead. And you didn't even hit me. What I tell you about the L1 taunts? Yeah, so 4v1s with the Spirited Church are pretty hard, but I think honestly it's even harder to do a one-on-one. See, they have the same amount of health as you, and you don't have that poise advantage, and you can't heal. So basically, you're on a very uneven ground with the opponent. You know, you can't go and heal. Little history between me and this guy you should know. He's been blue ganking in the forest for a while now, and I've killed him twice so far. He has been trying absolutely everything to kill me and cannot do it. I am sure he's mad as hell, which is why I'm giving him the nice joy emote, because, you know, no hard feelings. Oh, wait, there are hard feelings. I just want them to be all on the other side. Go ahead and give him the running R1 into R1, because I'm not expecting him to be able to use the parry, and he is doing attacks out of stun lock, so, you know, we can just keep doing this for as long as I need to. For reasons that I don't understand now, I keep not doing the secondary R1 combo. Maybe I'm just not expecting the first R1 after the running attack to hit. Anyway, so you can't drink Estus in front of a Scythe at all. It's just got way too much range, it will punish you. Here's the old meta sword and board trick. Don't worry, I can deal with this too. Go for the R2 roll catch because I'm expecting him to roll toward me, but I fuck up the timing, so I end up not getting it. Now that there's a blue and my health is minimal, it's time for me to leave because I'm not totally confident in my abilities with the Scythe, or at least I wasn't at the time. Go ahead and roll that move because, you know, I don't know how much range it has, and since I was far out of range anyway, I didn't exactly need to conserve stamina or, you know, keep running to make more distance, so why take the chance? Now, one of the issues I have with using the Scythe is, like, it's a weapon that makes you want to swing before your opponent does. Like, since it's got so much range, you tend to swing just when they're in your range and you're not in theirs. And while large weapons will interrupt enemy poise attacks, and small weapons will usually hit them before they can get their poise off, the Scythe is neither of these things. Oh shit, terrible roll there. The Scythe is neither of these things. It's not fast, and it doesn't have any poise damage, so it can be quite difficult to fight people with hyper armor who won't swing when you're not in range, because the main thing a Scythe can do is punish whiffs, and if you're not punishing whiffs or punishing a heal, then it really doesn't have much offensive initiative because of its slow speed and lack of poise damage. Another blue has joined the fray, who luckily for me decides not to go with his two-handed greatsword moveset, which has hyper armor, meaning I can attack much more safely. And so I'll do that. Go ahead and give him a hit as he's trying to flank me just to show him that he's not safe, and now he's two-handed his greatsword. Sweet. Unfortunately for me, the crab decides to get involved, and I can't really fight alongside a crab. And that's why. Crab doesn't give a shit about anyone but himself. Like an asshole. Luckily, he keeps that guy distracted, which is long enough for me to hit this guy a few times, and now the blues have both retreated to safe land where the host is. And the host is thinking he can beat me at my own game that I'm not even really that good at yet. Listen, sir, I'm sorry, but I'm the one who uses the Scythe right now. I'm the one who uses the weapon that's hitbox is so bad it will sometimes miss a locked-on R1 combo after landing the first move. I'm still in the process of experimenting with the Scythe's turn and burn potential here because, while it is very good for hitting people at long distances, it has trouble with keeping people off of it. Like, if someone gets inside your range and there's more than one of them, you pretty much can't swing and move them away. That's why I have the whole offhand scimitar thing. But I never remember to use it, and the offhand scimitar just has no range at all. You'll just miss, just like the Scythe. I'd use a better weapon for the job, like an offhand axe or a straight sword, but then the build would just be an offhand axe and a straight sword build that also has a Scythe with it. It would just overshadow the weapon. I go ahead and run away from Hazel to get out of its range, because that thing will just oh shit, light spike, start rolling. Anyways, because NPC invaders have ADHD and will only focus on the thing that's closest to them. Now, the Scythe is a little better in one-on-ones than it is against multiple opponents, but it still leaves a lot to be desired, because like I was saying earlier, it's difficult to attack safely, and it's also difficult to hit people because of its slow speed. Also, its lack of weapon damage means they can't kill someone very quickly, so you have to outplay your opponents for a very long period of time. Like, the bar of mistakes for this weapon is not high. But we'll go ahead and keep fighting this guy the way we've been doing, trying to outspace his attacks, trying to occasionally get a running R1 off, trying to fake running R1s, and then hopefully he'll swing, expecting the running R1, and then I can try and outspace that. There's a bunch of different strategies you can use when you're fighting a single opponent. Oh. Almost had him, but just not enough recovery time. Roll catching with this weapon is actually really peculiar because the regular but that works pretty well. Because the regular first R1 on a Scythe actually has slightly more hit stun than most weapons compared to its swing speed. Like for most weapons that you use, rolling attack with a finish, most weapons you use have this kind of pattern to how long its first hit stun is on the first R1. Oh, like I don't know this trick. Come on, you're embarrassing yourself here. The hit stun on the R1, the first R1, for most weapons is usually just long enough so that the second R1 can hit. And the Scythe is an exception to that. It's actually possible to land the first R1, walk one step, and then land a second first R1. They'll still be able to escape from the second R1 after that one, but because of that, it usually means I time my roll catch this weapon a little bit too early. Now he's trying to play the Scythe game. Come on, I've been using the Scythe for 2 days now. I'm pretty much better than everyone at this point. Oh, shit. Okay, you gotta not get hit though, that's kind of important. One. Yep, missed the roll catch as usual. Actually got a bleed out with this thing, and he thinks he's dead, so he fails to move in time, and certainly dead now. 3-0, my favor. So here's a mistake I see a lot of Dark Souls streamers doing a lot. Just because you have a big weapon doesn't mean you can swing into a crowd. So here I am with my big weapon swinging into a crowd like a fucking dumbass. Now, it just so happens to turn out perfectly for me, but it could easily not have. Only one little bit of stun lock in that mass of opponents could have resulted in my instant death. No matter how much poise you have, no matter how big your weapon is, it's always best to play it safe. Attack 1 or 2 opponents at a time, because if there's too many and your mind can't process them all, you could easily get stun locked to death in an instant, especially against 4 opponents. Aw, I was kind of hoping you had missed that. So, here's the thing about fighting alongside Herald Knights. You can't. You see, a Herald Knight is another threat you have to keep track of, and he is a huge threat. One unlucky swing and one unlucky hit from another guy could easily result in an instant death from stun lock by Herald Knight. I've had it happen to people I'm fighting against, and I've had it happen to me. But if you are forced to fight alongside the Herald Knights, you do so carefully. Pick your moments, and then get out fast. Do an attack or two, and then flee, because it's easy for a Herald Knight behind you or a player behind you to take you out while you're not looking, especially at this soul level. So here I am, taking it slow, attacking when they're distracted, and oh shit. Okay, thank God I dodged that. Oh, are you sure you want to come out here on your own? This doesn't usually work well for people. Alright. I guess that one was a freebie. In order to maintain the illusion of control after watching his friend get decimated in seconds, the yellow starts doing taunts as if he's going to survive this encounter. How adorable. Now it's time to play the edge. Instead of just running back into the mobs and encouraging them to play passively, I'll stay right outside their weapon ranges, making them think they're still involved in a fight, which also allows me to capitalize on any mistakes they might make, like leaving the host alone for no good reason, and then I'll just go beat him up. Unfortunately for me, I don't think will be able to kill the host because of how much latency he has. I'm not confident in my abilities to roll catch him, but I do try and go for a dumb backstab. Luckily that attack does no damage at all. It's like the real spirit bomb. But now the others have caught on and they're all chasing me, so I move back to the bridge hoping maybe to draw them onto it so I can get them at a choke point, but that's not what happens. They all start going after my red friend instead, so I need to move in quick and stop them from focusing all of their efforts on him. Okay, he's still swinging. Oh shit, okay, backups arrive, need to leave. Oh, good backstab there. This guy seems to partially know what he's doing. And you can't just heal whenever you want, man. We'll just keep doing this forever. So I start rolling after the backstab because I'm expecting the red to go for the wake up and keep me away from it, which is exactly what happens. Ooh, good interrupt there. Gonna go ahead and roll the spell in case he switches lock on targets at the same time, and then go for a running R1 chase down, which is not easy with the Zweihander. I take a chance here and assume that the 2 yellows are too far away to catch up to me in time for me to hit this guy. I end up being right only because the red jumps in and takes them both on at once. He's keeping them off me for just long enough to finish off their host, and that's the game. Well done, Red. You were there exactly when I needed you. Okay, this was a bad idea. I probably shouldn't have just immediately charged in, but I'd been taking out ganks left and right today, and I felt pretty confident about being able to beat everyone. Which was stupid, because now they have a Pyromancer reaction roller, based on the Straight Swords and Tears of Denial, and Danny DeVito, I guess. Oh, okay, he's no reaction roller, but he does have Pyromancers. Now this Danny DeVito guy has been ganking for a while now, and I have beaten him every single time. I think I must have taken him out 3 times by now, so he is salty as hell. He is coming after me with blood in his eyes. Now, I don't play in a way designed to irritate the players I'm against, like, because I don't like it myself. I wouldn't want to be a hypocrite, but tilt is pretty helpful. See, Danny DeVito will now split off from his group, like, in a zealous effort to take me out, and I can use that as an opportunity to take him out quickly while his group's not around. Unfortunately, with the last group of Bambis dead, and this one about to be dead, I haven't really had time or, the chance to do that. Oh, look, you didn't win. No surprise. You gotta wait for a group of at least 3 to take on ganks around here. These guys that just run headlong into it, expecting to win, are dead from the get-go. Their death was a foregone conclusion. There's no reason to help them, there's no point in trying to save them. Just let them die, because that was the point of their existence anyway. Give the gank Estus. And you Estus. Okay, but I have to admit, I really want to plunge them all right now. The temptation is real. Just don't do it. Just let him kill the guy. Okay. Press like, comment, and subscribe to pay respects. In a sequence of events that was way too badass and awesome to show you, we ended up here. And like I was saying earlier, Danny DeVito is now trying to take me on one-on-one, even though he's a ganker. He's lost sight of what's real. He can't get the parry, but he can't get the backstab up here. Go ahead and outspace that. Delay our... What? That was an accident, right? Some kind of latency thing? There's no way he did that on purpose. I don't believe that. Go ahead and punish his heal. When he rolls out, I'll go do my own heal. Now I'm up 1 Estus, and we're at the same amount of health. Careful with my R1s, because I'm expecting parry spam, because it's a ganker. Look, I was right. Unfortunately, I can't just backstab him whenever I like. Go ahead and punish the heal again. Actually, why don't I just kill him? Why don't I just hit him with my sword until he dies? 2 of them, 2 of us. It's time to move in. Surprise! Try and reaction roll the offhand hand axe. How to run off cackling into the night. Now, if you got some practice at PvP, then one of the fun things to do is to run into a level with the drag finger active, take on all the enemies even if there's an invader there, and just try and see how well you can do. I mean, I'm not always expecting to win, because sometimes invaders are good, like this guy who's reaction rolling me pretty well. Even do the R2 in an attempt to throw off his timing, and still gets it. Yeah, anything to liven up the next playthrough to make another character, because this shit takes forever, and I've killed these enemies 1,000 times by now. It's not fun anymore. It is when there's another guy, though. Now my practiced robotic methods of killing the PvE up isn't going to work anymore, because there's this second guy who I have to pay attention to at all times. And I should have taken damage there, but I guess he just missed. Lucky me. Roll too early? Because usually I roll left to dodge that, and I didn't even know that the right side of that swing animation had an extended lingering hitbox. Go ahead and Perseverance out of the first R1, he won't be expecting that to work. Panic roll, roll catch, dead. These things can happen really fast in these games. I know the red's here, and it's probably dangerous to engage Wilhelm, but as a wise man once said, YOLO. So I'm going to go ahead and take them both on. And watch as Wilhelm says the edgiest possible thing in the human language. Literally all he's saying is, yeah, I've killed guys like you before in the longest and edgiest way possible. It's the same red from earlier. He's switched to Vort's Hammer, which is actually a pretty clever choice in this area, considering a lot of things will do frost damage, and he might be able to work with that. And you might have noticed earlier, Wilhelm can friendly fire. So if I play these 2 off each other, I should be able to fight them one at a time safely. Unless I don't, and get surrounded and stun-locked into oblivion. I know it was a bad idea to go for a pivot here, but I love pivot backstabbing Great Hammers so much that I had to go ahead and try it anyway. Oops. Guess I lost a 400 or 500 health to Wilhelm as a result. Whatever, I still have 1,000,000 Estus flasks left, which is to say 4. Yeah, I didn't replenish my Estus at the bonfires because, whatever, all I have to lose are souls, no big D. Go for the rolling attack, thinking it'll surprise him. It does not. Unfortunately for him, he swings out of range, hoping I'll attack into the hyper armor, and I almost never do that. Gonna go ahead and outspace him a second time. Negative spacing with that much latency, which negative spacing is when you back up to avoid an attack, was pretty dangerous, and I'm lucky it worked out at all. Keep punishing him. Oh, never mind. I wanted to keep punishing him, keep him drinking the Estus since I only have 4 left. I need to get him down as soon as possible. Doesn't work out, though. Thank you, Wilhelm. Oh, why couldn't you do another R1 there? Would have killed him off. Ooh, I can punish this. Iframes! Now I can hurt this guy without being in danger from the other one. This attack is slow and easy to reaction roll. Yeah, one of the main downsides of using Vort's Hammer over the Great Club is you get a crappy R2. Like, that R2 is worthless. Don't use it unless you're going for style points. Can't see either opponent. Need to get to a place where I can. Here we go. That's a dodge. And this is a pivot. Didn't even have to unlock. Good game. Now it's your turn. Go home. that a password summon phantom out all on his own? Yeah, this seems legit. Here comes the R2. Oh, I didn't hit him? I totally should have hit him there. I totally would have hit him there if it was now. Bullet spam, time to... Oh, yep, just like I expected. There's 3 of them now, and since I haven't been hit yet, I don't know if they're over-leveled. So I'm going to go ahead and get the hell out of... Oh. Okay, yeah, they're over-leveled. It's confirmed. Case closed. Time to go. Go ahead and heal behind cover so I can't get interrupted. Heal behind cover a second time so I can't get interrupted. Do a turn and burn to try and get them off me, but it only hits one of them, so I'm forced to roll out when one of them manages to dodge it. Go ahead and switch to my nuke weapon. They won't be expecting this. Rest in peace. I don't mean that. Get wrecked. Now it's your turn. I do 400 damage now. The gloves have come off. Now you get to fight me on equal ground. Oh, wait. Hold on. How much damage did he do exactly? I don't think this one's got an over-leveled weapon like the other one does. I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to my smaller weapon so victory actually feels earned instead of just me killing everything. Start playing the edge with this unstoppably dangerous enemy, and the host just starts throwing his bullets away. I am happy to oblige. Oh, that's the cannon. Okay, need to watch that thing carefully. Alright, we're good. Now that he's down 14 bullets, he won't be firing that cannon again, which means it's time for the running R1. While his buddy does nothing about it. I guess I'll just hit you then. Feel free to start dodging. There we go. Still working on roll catch timing for this thing, or at least I was at the time, because roll catching in this game is fucking crazily hard. Whoops. Also, the hitboxes are a lot more precise, so it's easy to just straight miss attacks. Try to use my hyper armor to land a few hits in the chaos, and now I get to show you why people think there wasn't any hyper armor in these games. You see, the amount of latency between getting hit and then actually taking the damage is so high that attacks that you should have interrupted that end up being trades, like that last one that was in slow motion there, end up hitting you anyway, at the end of your hyper armor frames. So you'll hit him, he'll hit you, it'll be a trade, but you won't poise through it. One of the tools Bloodborne takes away from the invader is the ability to safely pressure someone. When you're running after someone, expecting them to panic roll, you have to commit to it, because if they attack, you will take damage. Attempting to dodge while you're running at them will result in a jump, which will just make you take damage from instability frames. So if you go for a chase down in this game, you better be damn sure you can get it, because if they attack you, you're definitely getting hit. Now you can see a bit of Bloodborne latency in play. They're getting to dodge attacks that in Dark Souls 3 they would definitely have been punished for. But that's alright because I'm swinging a giant fucking circular saw around. It's worth it. My usual instinct to just mash R1 when multiple targets are caught in range ends up being kinda wrong this time. They both attempt to roll out. But that's alright, I'm still dealing damage, nice and slow. Soon I'll have their health in range to go for another chase down kill. Unless the Phantom does that. Now the reason you see me locking on to escape them is because the quick step just has so much more distance that it's better to use it to escape than to unlock and roll, even if it messes your direction up a little bit. Oh yeah, and also you can do a counterattack and just kill them. GG guys. So I show up in this invasion to find a white phantom fighting all of the PvE at the same time with no one helping him at all, so I go ahead and roll catch him to death with my curved sword. Luckily, his team shows up just after he dies, kind of like a blue spirit who shows up the second the host is biting the dust. So that's one squad of mobs for one of 3 phantoms, a very good trade. I can probably just fight these 2 head on. Go ahead and do a turn and burn because he won't be able to get his hyper armor started in time. Outspace this guy. That past few seconds was a showcase of every single good thing about a curved sword. It's quick enough to interrupt hyper armor before it can begin, it's good enough to get roll catches repeatedly, and it can outspace even quick attacks like the one-handed greatsword. After being so thoroughly repulsed, the host decided within the first 30 seconds of the invasion to run for help, which gives me enough time to kill this bullet guy off because he's got no backup and a shield of 1. One of the biggest uses for the Partisan on this build is the chase down kills, since the curved sword's running R1 isn't very good for that. It's also good for surprise running R1s when you want to play the edge, or if you're fighting a single person that requires a lot of range to outspace or hit, like someone with the Ring Knight pair of greatswords, for example. If you want to outspace that first L1, it's good to have some wiggle room. So with full health and Estus, I decide I want this fight to last a little longer, so I chase him in a way that's designed to not kill him. Like, I don't want him to die from this chase down, but I also want him to feel like he's still under attack, so he doesn't feel like that I'm intentionally trying to toy with him. You know, I don't need to upset people for no reason when I'm playing the game. Unless they've done something to deserve it, of course, like, I don't know, gank or something. With the host running away, I have this blue to myself, which means I have time to inflict a devastating amount of damage in a short period of time. Go ahead for the hyper armor interrupt, then the outspace. Try to pressure him to death, but then the second guy shows up, and he also attacks out of the stun, which was actually pretty clever considering what I was going for. The yellow attacks out of stun lock here, so that's something to keep in mind for the future. However, he did attack out of only getting one hit by the second hit in an R1 combo. He might not have even registered in his brain. So I can't really be too sure about this guy's method of behavior yet, but why take chances? Going to break the shield down, but he does the thing where he blocks a single attack and then counterattacks immediately, which works in PvE, but not so good on players. Oh, a second invader showed up. I didn't even notice you. The spear is great for keeping someone off of a second invader, so now it can be two separate 1v1s instead of a 2-on-1, which I'm sure they would like to make it. Oh, ow. Okay, that could have been death if the host had showed up then. Need to be a little more careful. Goes for a boostery punish, I guess. Never seen that done before. Ooh, only reason I dodged that was because of latency. Lucky me. Remember, if someone's at low health and you don't have a handle on how they're rolling yet, just run alongside them and let them start developing a pattern. Then roll catch them based on that pattern. You don't have to catch their first roll, you don't have to catch their second, and you don't even have to catch their third. You just have to stay on them until they start, behaving predictably. I go ahead and let this invader handle it on his own because I know he's capable and I'm still trying to drag this out, so I wouldn't want the host to die too quickly. Hey guys, what's going on? We start communicating in invader sign language. We're asking each other how each other's days were, how was the weather today, all that good stuff. That's what I like to see. Summoning another phantom. This is more like it. Now we can... Oh. Alright, I guess we win then. GG. Well, let's see what we got over here. Oh, solo host. Well, this guy looks like he's getting the Dark Souls experience, getting gangbanged by dogs. Shame he's using those weapons, though, and not doing any of the nice L1 moves. Those actually do a fair amount of damage, even though they have no range and no speed. So obviously I'm not going to just attack this solo... actually, hold on a sec. Let me kill this blue real quick. I'll be right back. Hello. Now, Murakumo versus Greatsword is actually an irritating matchup for me, since you need to have like 43 poise to tank a Greatsword. So, since Greatswords swing faster than me, it's actually like probably one of the most difficult weapons to deal with if you're not like turn and burning or something. And dead, and what am I even talking about? Okay, it's difficult in a group. Now let's give this solo host an ember if you stop running away. Come on, come back. I just want to give you free stuff. No, don't run towards the mobs over there. Hey. Notice me. Yeah, sometimes hosts will make this a harder process than it needs to be. Giving embers to people is... I should be putting my weapon... Oh. Alright, never mind. I'm gonna have to kill now. So I'll pressure him a little bit with the Murakumo. Not too much, because, I'd like for there to actually be a fight here instead of just me killing a solo host. Huh. Could have sworn that would hit. That's why I swung the second time. Alright, looks like now we got a blue in on the fun. Gonna have a blue and a summon here soon, so now we can have a real fight. By the way, I've recently been informed that R1 into jumping R2 is a true combo on this thing, so in situations like that where he escapes the second R1 because of latency... Oh no. If you've seen Pinko's streams, then you know who this guy is. The progenitor of connection issues, the champion of packet loss. The Lord of Bones himself has come to the aid of this poor solo host, and he doesn't really seem to be lagging all that much. But he's roll catching me with Crystal Soul Spear, so it's basically just as bad. Alright, I have no health and probably should have waited to heal there. It would have been a good opportunity to run with low health into the mobs and then see if I could draw a few with me. But whatever, it seems that they're chasing me regardless. So let's see if we can get a turn on burn on this guy who's a little too far away from the group. Don't attack twice because there's a guy with Crystal Soul Spear in the background and there's no reason to chance that. Listen for the sound of the Crystal Soul Spear to dodge it sometimes if you can't see it. One of the benefits of spells is you can hear them before you can see them. So if you're paying close attention, sometimes you can dodge them off screen, but it's best to just keep them in your line of sight regardless. Reaction roll all the attacks, wait for an opportunity to counter. Oh, I should not have hit him twice there. That was a risk I did not need to take. Paid off, but... Okay, really paid off, but if I had done it today, I probably would not have done it. There we go, attack once and get the hell out. Alright, there's only two of them now. Let's see if I can take them head on. Ooh, look who's out of magic. R1 to get this guy out of my way. And then go ahead and running R1 chase this guy. Oh, you have no... For all the packet lost Crystal Soul Spears in the world, there is still one force stronger. Gravity. With the champion of lag defeated and the two blues that usually come into a host's worlds dead, I'm now free to wail on the solo host. Why is he just standing? Okay. Thought he was disconnecting for a second. There we go. This is more what I'm used to. Good old roll catch chase downs and the solo hosts. I don't know why I still show you these chase downs. Basically a foregone conclusion at this point. Taking my non-twink build on a run through the forest, turning burning some actual twink who thinks I'm not aware of his presence. And, is he fighting me? I can't tell what's going on. He's fighting me, right? He's gonna use his weapon to hit me at some point. What the hell's going on? Why is it... Alright, guess I'll just attack you then. Mother of God. Delayed it for just the perfectly wrong amount of time. Uh-oh, didn't kill me in one hit. Now what are you gonna do? It's not like you have any chance of pressuring me with that shitty greatsword. And I'm out of there. And heal. And it's like your Hornet Ring riposte never happened. Now you only have to do that, let's see. 7 S's flat. 7 more times. And you're still failing at it. Stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Quit it. Like, come on, this is ridiculous. There's more to fighting than this. If someone's running up to you and parrying like a fucking dumbass, go ahead and kick him right in the face. The kick should combo into your next attack, and then you'll do damage without any risk of parry. Oh, he actually hit the R1 button this time. This is one of those players, the one that runs right up at you and either parries or R1s. There's nothing in his brain at all. He just picks one or the other, probably flips a coin. He's still walking at me, even while he's healing, like he wants to get punished. Like, come on. This is why I hate Forest Twinks so much. None of them have any fucking idea what they're doing. This is how you parry. There we go. Learn. I guarantee you if by some miracle this guy had won, oh, go ahead and attack as soon as he's up because he's obviously going to parry out of the stun lock, dead. I guarantee you, if he had won that fight by some miracle, he would have done all the bad manners he knew how to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same. See, those guys are just like gankers. They invade people just to have the greatest possible advantage. This is the reason they don't learn. It's the reason they don't think. See, those guys are straight out of the fighter PL school of invading. They don't see it as a challenge to be overcome. They see it as a hilarious griefing engine. And then, of course, when they meet someone halfway competent, or any gank at all with twinks, they can't hold themselves up. Fucking makes all of us look bad. Pull the lever, jump down with Silvercat, go in the door, and then you can avoid any possible ambushes. Unless they're already in the door, doing one of those shield and then someone behind them with a spear or something memes. But that's alright, I got something just for that, the War Pick. The War Pick's got the stamina damage, the chip damage, and the hyper armor to hopefully do enough damage to get through this guy's shield and survive the guy in the back's attacks. Unless he just knocks me off. Okay, did not want this button to be pressed. This is a nightmare. Get me out of here now. Alright, stop panic rolling. Take it slow. Wait for his attack. Alright. Safe to heal now. Counter R1 because the running R1 on a washing pole has basically no hit stun, and if you have a hyper armor weapon, you then have the offensive initiative. Since Beam Champion number 2 is too slow to get up here, I can basically just kick the crap out of this guy. 1 down, 2 to go, probably. Oh, unless he was the host. Game over. Oh. I hope this isn't one of those I refuse to leave the bonfire for any reason, including the death of a family member ganks. But maybe we can draw him out like this. Try and be an edgelord, make him want to chase me. Oh, first playthrough, huh? You know, with a parry like that, I might have just believed you. Yeah, this guy's a ganker. I can tell from that parry alone. That's one of the habits you learn when you're a ganker because, you know, you can't be punished for that parry and you're unlikely to take a bunch of damage as a result of it. It's the only reason he's still using a fist weapon to do so, even though you can take so much for fucking one up. Go ahead and let the mobs get in here. See if I can get a punch attack. Nope. Retreat from the hot zone here. Poised weapon or not, that's still way too many enemies to swing into. Unless this guy comes off on his own. Get out of here. What the hell hit me? And then I made a mistake input, which leads to more damage, which leads to I need to get the hell out. Of course, they have Chaos Bed Vestiges, and that's why I usually get rid of that barrier there, because it will hold you up when you're running backwards and not watching it. So far, this invasion's been pretty bad. There's a lot of poised weapons that I can't interrupt with the Murakumo. They're taking down the mobs too quickly for me to take advantage of it. I can't really find any good opportunities to attack, and they've got Chaos Bed Vestiges in case I make a single mistake ever. So, not seeing many options here other than to see if I can take them out at a distance or see if I can urge them to come after me. There's one hit, pretty much inconsequential because he's wearing such heavy armor. Great, that guy kind of knows what he's doing too. Backstabbing, taking advantage of the iframes. The other guy shoots me with an arrow that does basically 0 damage and it will shortly be healed by my regeneration, so that's not really something I'm too concerned about. This was a bad idea. That could easily have gone so much worse than it did, and I barely did any damage to them at all as a result. I think the problem is I'm a little tilted here because I don't know how to approach this fight. Assume that's going to hit, it ends up not, which is why I swung twice there instead of the normal one. God damn it, did you just let me hit you with attacks? Hitbox porn takes the side of the Oni Slayer, and I am forced to panic roll out because there's way too many weapons for me to reaction roll, which results in me getting roll caught by Chaos Bed Vestiges. Now I am 2 Estus down, most of the mobs down, with basically no mileage to show for it. This invasion so far has been a complete disaster, and I'm not really sure how to turn it around. And now they're throwing explosives to kill all the enemies because they can. This is an example of one of those ganks I'm just not good enough to beat. They're just clever enough, just tactical enough, just well-armed enough to basically repulse any attempted attack I do, because there's always going to be another one to back them up. I'm looking out for the third guy because he's got an ultra, and if he hits me from off screen, I could easily be stun locked to death by the Chaos Bed Vestiges, which is why I didn't take as much advantage as I should have during their little vulnerability there. I can reaction roll that easily with no one else around. What the hell kind of parry was that? This is how we all know you're a ganker. Hitbox porn again. I should not be attacking on the stairs, period. In an attempt to dodge the Ultra Greatsword, I am basically forced to take the roll catch Bed Vestiges because the attacks were just timed right so that I couldn't avoid them both. Jesus Christ, how many fucking projectiles do these guys have? Looking back at this now, I can just tell how unbalanced I was, trying to figure out ways to beat this invasion. Doing my best, but I'm just making mistakes, and... Oh! Incognitos, join the fun. Alright, so our strategy here is... Oh, you actually rolled that. Our strategy here has changed just a bit. I know for a fact that me or Pinko can beat one of these guys one-on-one pretty fast. Oh shit, he's just running right in the middle of it. So the idea here will be to try and split one of them off in either direction to get them to one-on-one fight one of us until we can kill that guy. And then we'll do the same thing with the other two. But obviously they aren't willing to do that. As you can see, they're clearly trying to stay 3-on-1 at all times because obviously a one-on-one would be suicide for them. So, we're gonna have to see about how we can attack these guys at all. Damn it, fucking reaction rolls. But you're not the only one who can dodge things on reaction. Whatever, Knight gets a little too overconfident, so he just kind of runs right into my attacks there. Unfortunately, I'm a little overzealous in my effort to take him down, which results in me taking a bunch of damage, and Pinko getting turn and burn. Yeah, watch out for that, Pinko. This guy's good enough to do... He's good enough to press the controller in the other direction and attack, which is why I'm being a little careful on my approach toward him. Just like that. Use the opportunity of the charge to attack the mage since it will put him out of range, but the mage is just fucking wily enough to dodge it. So, I move out of range so I can get them both in my sights. God damn it, would you stay still for a second? Now they're both going after Pinko, so I'm going to want to stop that as soon as possible, and Jesus Christ with the Oni Slayers. Oh, you're looking overconfident. You sure this is a good idea? Gankers usually don't do all that well on their own. It doesn't take long. Down you go. That's why I love the Kumo so much. Good job, Pinko. You kept them off me for just long enough for me to kill the host before he even knew what happened. Good work. Alright, this is the last invasion. So let's start at the beginning. You'll notice I'm not wearing my Ferris hat right now. This is because this is one of the first invasions that I did with the Murakumo that I thought was worthy of recording. Man, this was way back. Like, I was still on Xbox during these times. Well, that was probably a bad idea. Could have easily been stun locked to death there. Hey, you know, I think I've kind of said all I can say about invasions at this point. If you go back through my video history, you'll find explanations of all the tactics I've ever used, all the weapons I've ever employed, all the little subtle nuances to invasions that aren't quite easy to detect when you're watching the video. I'm out of stuff to teach you guys, and I'm out of stuff to say. So, I think it's time to wrap things up. It's been fun. A lot of fun. Heck, it's been 3 years since this game came out, and only now has it finally reached something approaching a deathbed. And despite that, plenty of people are still online. From PvE, to dueling, to invading, Dark Souls 3 has had the most replay value and the best multiplayer mechanics I've ever seen. But it was more than that to me. I found a community just as ardently passionate as me, and in that community found someone who I now couldn't imagine life without. Dark Souls 3 is now a part of me, a chapter of my life that will shape who I am for years to come. But life is bigger than that. Invading can only ever be temporary, and in the end, it too is just a game. It's time for me to move on. Time to push ever forward and meet the rest of my life head on. It won't be easy, but hey, if I've learned anything these past years, it's that nothing worth achieving is. Thanks for watching, everyone. And don't forget to try out a Murakuma.